timers. We are in the process of a search for a senior minister here at Unity of Dallas, but we have grand speakers every Sunday, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes. And speaking of a grand speaker, I am honored today to introduce C.J. Miller. His name is Christopher, but he prefers C.J. I'll make sure I do this right. He founded and served as the creative director of Rainmaker Advertising for 25 years. In 2022, he began to pursue his passion as a full-time artist, speaker, and writer, focusing on how creating art fosters spiritual growth. His book, The Spiritual Artist, which I am still reading, is available on Amazon. He also produces the Spiritual Artist podcast, where he shares stories of enlightenment and growth through conversations with today's artists and thought leaders. He leads spiritual artist retreats and will be introducing the Creative Spirit community at Unity of Dallas on August 27th. Mark your calendars. You are in for a grand experience with me and Christopher. And you. Yes, so Chris has spoken at various art and spiritual centers, including Church of One Love, the Center for Spiritual Living Dallas. He was honored to be the featured speaker for C.C. Young's 2024 Spirit is Ageless Awards reception and celebration. As you can see, you are in for a treat. Welcome, C.J. Miller.
Thank you. All right. Can you all hear me? Isn't that a very creative shirt she has on? Talk about a painting unto itself, right? So I'm so excited to be back here. Actually, I wasn't originally planned to come back here, and there was a cancellation. And that's how Spirit works, right? Suddenly, I got this opportunity because my Creative Spirit community is going to start this Wednesday here in Myrtle Hall. And it's free. It's just a love offering. So if you can make it, I would encourage you to come. But let me tell you why you got that little index card. So let's start with the index card. So I want you to just take a moment, close your eyes, and think about what is on your mind today. What burden are you carrying? What concern are you carrying? Let's face it, it's been a kind of interesting couple years here, and there's a lot flying around, and we all carry burdens. We get tied into certain narratives. So I want you to think about something that's bothering you. And when you think of that, I want you to write it on the index card, and I will tell you this. You're not going to have to share it. You're not going to have to come up here and read it. So don't worry. I want you to be as honest as you need and should be. Write it down on that card, and then I want you to fold the card in half. And you're going to lay down that burden while we do this presentation. I'm going to explain to you why. But we're going to actually work with that. So think carefully about something that's weighing on your mind, whether it's a physical health issue, whether it's a job issue, whether it's a money issue, whatever is burdening you, I want you to put it aside. Write it down. Did you all get a card? Did you get an index card when you came in? Yes? No? So write it down, fold it. All right. Okay, so I wanted to share some things with you. I want to make sure if you're in a row, I know this is odd, but try to look around you, make sure there's someone close to you, because I just want you at the end of this to have someone nearby, and we get so spread out. You know, COVID has spread us out, right? Hasn't it? And I think it's time that we kind of come right back in. Okay, all right. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my background and who I am. If you saw me speak here before, you might remember this. I am an artist, and we're just going to run through this very quickly. When I was very young, I was very passionate about God. I was raised Catholic, and I had when I hit puberty and realized that I was gay, I started pulling away from the notion of God. And I will tell you truthfully, I walked away from the name of God for 20 years. 20 years till someone came up to me and said anything with the word God in, I would, no, don't talk to me about it. Okay? If you have that feeling, I just said, there's no such thing. Which is not true, but it's how I felt. And then also, at the same time, when I was a teenager, I had a horrible experience with an art teacher. And he shamed me in front of an auditorium that, I kid you not, was 6 times bigger than this in Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. And he embarrassed me and had me walk out of the class, all these people watching. So I also put down my art. But what I realized is, as I started making art way back, way later, only after a woman that I befriended came home and she was reading a book by Shakti Gawan, and I said, well, what's that about? And she said, oh, it's living in the light, it's about God. And I was like, ah! And she said, here's an idea. What if you don't use the name God? What if you call it another name? I said, come on, that's cheating. That's cheating. And she said, no, it's not. No, it's not. Put another name in there. And I thought, okay, that's an interesting concept. Curiosity. That's an interesting concept. What if I put another name into that power? And so as I got older, I started reading more and more spiritual books. And I went on the typical journey of learning who I was as a spiritual person. But what I realized is that when I pick up the brush and I paint, and I'll tell you what, this morning, I was a little worked up. I was going to go speak. And how many here get nervous when you're speaking? I mean, it's like, right? It's like, even, I've done it a lot of times. I've been speaking a long time, still get that. But I went and I painted. And I realized this morning why. Why did I go paint? Because when I paint, I lay down my burden. I lay down all my problems, including the worry of talking to you. I put it down and I paint. And I step into this wonderful space. I call it co-creating with Spirit. I call it co-creating with God. I feel this power flowing through me. And when I create this morning, I'm doing this long horizontal canvas, and I just went at it. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is what it's about. It's about laying down your burden, being in the space of now, being connected. So what I thought is, and what this whole speech is about, is I want to talk to you about how you can do this, how you can do it. Obviously, I am going to be doing this Creative Spirit community on Wednesday, and that's one way. And I would invite you to come, because making art, being creative, even if it's doodling, because doodling is art, is a way that you can lay down your burdens, okay? All right, but I wanted to tell you a little personal story on the side. Okay, so when I was in my 30s, I'm going to share this with you. This is the first time I ever said this on the stage. So I had major issues with IBS. I had this whole swamp of irritable bowel syndrome come up. And I don't know if any of you have experienced it, but what happens is you start to feel like you're not in control of your body. And I come from a German background, right? It's about control. And suddenly I felt like there were times where my stomach would get upset, and oh my God, I started watching where the restrooms were. How close is a restroom to me? How close can I, am I gonna get on that elevator? Can I make it up? Can I get up to the 80th floor? If you've ever dealt with this, it's an incredible fear. And I gave in to that fear. It got bigger. I wanna say that again. I gave into it, and it got bigger. And I started getting anxious in all sorts of situations. I started going, when I would go to something like this, I'd sit on the end because I wanted to be able to run, and then in the back because I wanted to be able to run out real quick. And it got so bad, what was a trigger point for me, what was a moving point for me, was I went to Disneyland with my son. He was probably 8. And they had the ride line up, and it was one of those long cars, you know, the little toll cars that you go out. And I thought, do this. I can't get in that stupid ride. I mean, here I was, this is my son. I wanted to share something with him. I love my son, and I couldn't do it because the fear was so big. And I thought, I have to face this. I have to face the fear. So we're talking today about how to find joy. And I want to tell you how I found joy. And I told you one way. I found joy in making art. But this is something else that we can all do. So I read a book that was so fascinating. It talks about how to deal with panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and that's what I was dealing with. I would have these incredible panic attacks and anxiety, and I started going, okay, and the first thing it says is you have to turn around, and instead of running from your fear, you walk into it. You walk into it. But that wasn't enough for me. It didn't work. Just turning from it didn't work. But do you know what worked for me finally? And what I want to share with all of you? What worked for me is turning to someone near me and connecting to a person and opening myself and being God, being in that God space and being there for you. That's the only thing that got me away from the fear. So I want to share this wonderful quote. Any healing experience must include being in service to others, offering your gifts, helping others see their own divinity, and giving of your resources. When I sit here and get up on the stage, you know what gets me through this? It's not that I'm not terrified. It's because I look at you and I see the faces. There's some friends of mine, and I remember talking to you before, and I remember you, and I remember you in the entryway. And suddenly, I'm out of me. I'm out of Chris. I'm putting down little Chris. If you've ever taken my workshop, I call it little Chris, and all of his worries, and I'm focusing on you, and I'm focusing on the God in you. And when I let go of the God in me, or I let it out, and it flows through me, when I'm painting, when I let it flow through me, I feel this incredible connection. I release. It gets me back to joy. It gets me back to joy. I think that's what Myrtle Fillmore was talking about here. When we are of service to others, I wear this wristband. It says, listen. It reminds me all day long. When I start going, well, you know, the traffic was really bad on the way over here, and I'm worried about my car, and I think the oil light's coming on, and right? I say, stop. Listen to God. God is here all the time. God is around you all the time. And when I see God, I see it in people. So that's what got me through it. I had to be there for my son on that ride. I had to say, you know what? I am going to, how are you? I mean, he was 8 or 10. Are you scared? I took the focus off of me and I put it into him. And then guess what? I got on the ride. But I walked, and I'm not telling you, and when I say this, I'm not saying, and then life is easy, right? Because on that ride, Chris is going in and out of me-isms. One minute he's concerned about him, then he's loving for his son. Then he's being with his son, he's holding his son's hand while his son is scared. And then he goes, oh my God, my stomach, what if I have, blah, 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 right? The narrative. So, we already talked about this. When I paint, I feel as though God is flowing through me. Okay, I love this quote. You don't serve God by going to church. You serve God by serving people. And you serve people best by putting them in touch with their own divinity. We all have this ability. Right now, the world is scary, but you have the power. I'm going to say that again. Right now, the world is scary, but you, every one of you, has the power. And when you turn to the person next to you and say, I am the presence of God for you, and you step out of little Chris, little you are letting God flow through you. You are seeing the God in them. It's incredible. That is what we can do. That is how you center yourself in joy. You get out of you. So, another quote. Love this quote. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Now, some people say, I don't want to lose myself. I'm talking about the little you. The little you. The little you that's worried about aging, that's worried about my knees not working the way it used to, that's worried about IBS and what happens if it kicks in. I have to step into faith and know that God will walk me through it if it happens. If suddenly right now I have to run to the bathroom, okay, guys, I'm going to go to the restroom. You know, like I have God with me. God's going to work me through it. So, I want to talk to you about me-centric versus we-centric. This word came to me, me-centric, and I love it. We're all so, especially here in America, we're so me-centric, aren't we? How does my hair look? Do I have the perfect body? Am I wearing the right cologne? Am I the right age? Am I working at the right job? Do I have the nicest car? How big is my house? We are so me-centric, but if I stop and I go, whoa, what if I actually reach out to that guy standing at 635 and Forest Lane asking for money? What if I lower the window and I look him in the eyes? Do you know that I read that street people say that people will give them money, but very few actually look them in the eyes, Give them the courtesy of the dignity of seeing the God in them. They're just in a different place. That's God. And give them money. I would recommend that to you. Try it sometime. I know someone's going, oh, you're going to encourage it. Are you? You know? Are you encouraging it? You know, certain faiths have what's called a begging bowl. People go out and they beg. And I want to share this with you. We think, oh, how selfish. They're asking for money. What I want you to reframe that is, it's giving you a chance to be God. It's giving you a chance to let God flow through you. When you see someone begging, instead of going, oh, why are there so many street people? And yes, we need to do something about that. We need to house them and be fair. But if you can lower your window and see the God in them, they're just a different reflection of you, and give them money. God's flowing through you. And I'll tell you what, you're going to drive up that street, even a dollar, and you're going to be like, because God feels good. God feels really good. When I paint, I feel really good. When I look at you in the audience and I say, I'm trying my best to share a message with you that I hope will help you, I feel good. When I focus on someone and say, Dad, I want you to hear this. I want you to know this, that you have at any moment of your time, any situation that you're in, you have the choice. When you're stepping on that elevator and you're terrified, oh my gosh, what if IBS kicks in? And you focus on the little lady struggling, holding her bags, and you say, I will be of service to you, and I'm going to hold those bags for you. God is flowing through you. Do you feel it? I feel it. It's something you can feel. It flows through your body. You are being a space for God. Isn't that incredible? I think it is. I think it's the most incredible thing in the world. So, here. I wanted to share this quote with you. I looked all over the place. So when you're a speaker, you go and you go on a hunt, right? You look for quotes to verify. It's like, if I use this quote, it's going to justify that I feel this way. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to make up my own quote. And I encourage you to do that. Make your own quote. Be God through you. Let God come through you. And what I want to say is, when I am of service to another, God is acting through me. So that's a Chris Miller quote. C.J. Miller is sharing a quote. And I want you to realize that is a service. It is a service. It's a wonderful ability. It is a wonderful ability to let God flow through you. And when you see someone struggling and you can help them, when you get an email that says donate to this campaign, when you help someone down the steps, when you open the door, when you're on Central and you actually let someone in front of you, it's a gift. Right? I know we don't think so, right? Oh, why is that person cut in front of me? What if you let them? What if you say, go ahead, feel it. Feel what it's like. It's the most incredible, incredible experience. So I want to share something with you. Synchronicity brings us what we need all the time. When we're focused on this, when I was writing this, suddenly I'm seeing God in all these sentences coming to me. I'm seeing things come to me that makes me feel, this is a good message. This is a good message. So this is Amoda May. I don't know if you can see that. And I found this woman. I just got back from Santa Fe. And I went to the used bookstore. Great place to go, by the way, used bookstore, because you get them cheap. And I found all these books from this woman. I started reading them. I love this. And I want to share it with you. It's very short. Okay? But talk about God speaking through me, to you. God is speaking through me to you. This is what she says. When you embrace this mystery, the mystery starts to move through you. Your life is no longer your own, but is given in service to the light. This isn't just a nice spiritual idea, but a very tangible and powerful new way of living. When awakening is fully embodied, you simply help. Service becomes the overriding motivation for being alive. I want to repeat that. Service becomes the overriding motivation for being alive. It's not about being good. It's about being God. It's your true nature to operate as divinity. And the conscious recognition of this is the fulfillment of your true life's purpose. Essentially, you become the ears, eyes, hands, feet, heart, and voice of God. To live your greatness through the work you do, Whether this work is sweeping the floor, building a home, writing a book, managing a multi-million-dollar company, or bringing up a child, right? It's not what you do, but how you do it that makes all the difference. So it's not what you do, but how you do it that makes all the difference. So here's an opportunity for you. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, center yourself in this wonderful space, this wonderful community of love. And I want you to think of 3 things that you could do for someone else. 3 things. And so I'm going to give you some ideas while you sit here with your eyes closed. This could be as simple as sending a thank you card to a friend, inviting someone to lunch, cleaning up or emptying the dishwasher for your spouse, anything. I want you to think of 3 things that you can do for someone else. I want you to see in your mind's eye you doing them, and not doing them as a weight, but as a gift from God. I want you to see that you are doing them because this is God flowing through you. Okay? So, when you open your eyes, I'm going to have you write those 3 things on that card. Okay? So, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the room and just write down those 3 things on your card to remind you when you leave that you are of service. Remember, there is no act of service that's too small. It can even be complimenting someone on what they're wearing. And no act of service is too large. And you'll find that if you decide to do an act of service that's too large, God will step in and help you and show you how to do it. That's the miracle. That's why this book, suddenly passage came to me. God's leading me the way. I let go, I let God. So write down those 3 things that you can do for someone. Okay? Now, I'll give you 1 more minute. And remember, it can be simple. It can be just returning something you borrowed. It could be sticking a $1 bill out that car when you're driving down and giving it to someone and seeing the smile on their face, looking them in the eyes and treating them like the God that they are, right? So, now I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm hoping that you're close to someone. So I want you to look next to you. So pick someone near you, and you say, I'm A and you're B. So one person is A and one person is B in every group. One person is A and one person is B. And if there's not someone near you, maybe you have to go all the way down. He'll share with you. In the back row, if there's someone further back, there's always someone further back. Find someone near you, and I want the A person in the group. Everybody picked an A? Everybody picked an A? I want A to turn to B. I want the A to turn to B, look them in the eyes, and I want them to say, I am here for you. Try it. Look them in the eyes. I am here for you. Try to hold that eye look. It's hard, isn't it? When you see God coming through them, through their eyes, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to look someone in the eyes and accept that love. Now, I want the B person, because you're not going to get away with this, B person. You're not going to have this. B person is going to turn to the A person. And guess what? So all the B's turn to the A and look them in the eye and say, I am here for you. Feel your body. Feel what it's like to feel that. Recognize the feeling of Spirit flowing through you. Pick that feeling, follow that feeling, go out into life and look for that feeling. And when you hold that door open for someone, you'll feel it. This week, you're going to feel it. And you're going to take this card out, and you're going to carry it with you, and I'm going to task you to at least do one of those items on that card, if not all 3, right? If not all 3? So I want to end this with, I have a book out. There's some out in the front, and it's coming out. But at the Wednesday workshop, I will have that book there. I will be doing a reading from the book. And this is a short parable book, and that is my dog. One of them. That's a rescue dog. And there's a parable in this book. This book is meant for people to read every morning. It's just a 2-page story to read before you go out, because what I'm doing is I'm aligning you with Spirit. Every morning you read that story and you step into Spirit. You step into Spirit and you feel it, and then you go in, you live your life. So I wrote one about this little dog, because this little dog that was a rescue dog that was running the streets up in Saxe, I think, came to me, and there's a story about Baxter in there. You'll read it. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's on Wednesday. So, all right. So I want to thank you for letting Spirit flow through me to you, because that's the biggest gift I could ever have, and I hope you appreciated it. So thank you for being here.